This is intended for a mature audience only. Bitches. Welcome, my fellow deviants, to Raw and Uncut. This is Izzy, and I'm joined by
Megan.
And I'm Randy.
Those just joining us for the first time, this is a podcast of three friends pushing the boundaries of social norms and bringing them to you. And we do have a safe word going on, so the safe word is red. And to start off this episode, we're going to be talking about bad dates. We've all had them, we've all experienced them, but we're going to dive into our personal lives and tell you guys our most, how do I put it? Annoying, terrible, nightmarish.
Cringy.
Cringy. Yes.
Yeah, we've all had them.
Yeah, we definitely did. So let's start with you, Randy, since you're picking up here.
Well,
You want to elaborate? You want to?
We'll get into. We'll kind of let's just go around the table here and we'll figure it out. Like, what are your views on dating? All right, and I can tell you, like, for me, I view dating. There's two different. For me, I view that there's two different styles of dating. There's dating, and then there's exclusive dating. All right. If I'm dating you, and I believe, if we're just dating and we're still feeling things out, I should be able to talk to other people.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm committing myself to you and we're talking like...
Wait, pause. So we're talking about you're dating multiple people at the same time.
Not really dating multiple people, but I should be able to entertain conversations with multiple people.
Okay.
So, but now, like, let's say that we've been talking for 6 months or 7 months and we're hanging out and it's, you're spending a lot of time with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're in the exclusive dating realm,
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to be exclusive to that person unless there is a conversation had where you don't have that exclusiveness and it's okay to be outside that realm.
So I think we need to back up even a little bit farther and be like, okay, so when I say the term dating, what does that mean to you? Because dating now is not the same. Back then you got asked, would you like to go on a date? And then you go to a dinner and a movie, and then you get the whole traditional dating. And now it's like dating is, let's go for a walk, see if we vibe.
Let's just hang out. Let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
And people consider, what I'm getting at is I see this a lot anymore is like, especially, I don't know if it's a new culture thing or something, but it's like, it seems like people will be like, I'm talking to you. So we're automatically dating and you can't talk to anybody else.
No,
and I can't stand that.
Though.
No.
That's been happening for...
But I mean, now, and we'll get into this in another episode when we talk about Gen Z culture. And we'll actually have somebody, with us that will discuss it too. This whole new thing about this situationship, which is not even dating, apparently.
Right.
But yet they're still hanging out and doing everything that you would be dating.
So what's situationship like? Just the circumstances around them pulls you together?
Basically there's somewhat of an emotional contact, and I don't want to get into it too much because we're going to get into it in the future episodes, but there's somewhat of that emotional connection, but it's understood that it's not long term.
Okay. I mean, short term.
So they call it a situationship, and you see it a lot with these young guys and girls in high school. They're only dating while they're in school, and then over summer break they're seeing somebody else.
It happens. Okay, it makes a lot more sense. So they call it.
It's not really a relationship because they know it's only short term.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, we'll get into that down the road.
So then, let's figure out where we all stand on that one. So when I say dating, Randy, what does dating mean to you? The word dating. Define that for me.
To me,
yes.
If I'm dating you, I'm exclusive.
Okay.
Ew.
Is he?
No.
No.
For me, dating is like you're getting to know the person. Until you officially tell the other person this is exclusive, like, you start being like, hey, I'm really into you and stuff like that. And that makes it more, to me, exclusive.
So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say is like, for me, if I'm saying to you that I'm dating you, then I'm exclusive to you. And I've gotten through that part of that whole testing things out, testing the waters, feeling it out, see if we're compatible and stuff like that. What I'm trying to say is like, I don't think you should call it dating,
Right.
if you're just getting to know this person.
I don't know, but I thought dating was getting to know the person.
And I think that's where this separation is now, where it's changing from the traditional word of dating, where everybody automatically goes to dinner and a movie so we can get to know each other, versus how everybody does it now. Nobody wants to go sit in a long meal because there's a long time to sit with somebody you,
especially if they're not, especially if they're a bad date.
Yes,
you know,
right? So dating. You tell me dating, and I automatically go to right after introduction, but not exclusive yet. When you start adding, what did they call these titles?
I don't know if we can really take dating advice from her.
Oh, shush.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah.
Miss, we're just hanging out and he's at your house every night.
Well, hey.
We're not dating. We're just hooking up.
For the most part. It's just awesome. But no, so that to me is dating. So keeping that in mind, then we go back to how you view dating. So then it's, how do you believe you're supposed to date? Like, are we mixing traditional with new social norms? Are we creating something brand new here? What's it look like?
I think that it's person dependent.
I was about to say that.
It's person dependent, really, because again, for me, I don't like to say that I'm dating somebody until I'm exclusive with them.
Right.
You know, that whole feeling phase out, you know, going to dinner, going to a movie, hanging out in the park or something like that, getting to know that person, talking online, texting back and forth, Snapchatting, whatever you want to do. That to me is not dating. To me, dating is when you officially are exclusive to that person.
Okay, so the whole texting, talking, going out with them and stuff like that, that's not dating. That's just getting to know
That's
them?
exactly. That's kind of like, that's a getting to know you phase for me. You know, so if I'm getting to know you, I can still get to know other people in my mind. You know, now I may have a greater focus on you versus the other person. You know, and stuff like that. But when I say that I'm actually dating somebody, I'm officially saying I'm exclusive to this person.
Okay. I think we got a full understanding of that now. So how do you think you are as a date? Like, how do you feel?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I guess with my lengthy definition of what I think dating is, it kind of goes... I kind of feel like dating me is like a Rubik's Cube, to be honest.
Like I'm referring to you as like the date. Like, do you think you're the best, or do you remember yourself being a bad date?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. For me, I kind of feel like dating me is like a Rubik's Cube. Oh, it's going to take a long time to solve, and it's complicated.
It only took me 2 seconds.
But I will say that I am solvable.
Okay.
So I promise you that I am solvable. So
dip them in some water.
Kind of like that. What was that toy that you can get, like Grow a Man or whatever?
Oh yeah, it comes in a little pill or something.
Right.
You put in water and expands. Only if.
Disappointment.
What about you, Megan? Like, how do you believe you are to date? Like, what do you say?
So,
That's shaky.
This one's hard because honestly, I haven't really been on that many in my life. Now, when I say that, I mean more the traditional, like coming out now, being more a boundary breaker with these social norms. You know, I've changed my outlook on how dates are supposed to go, or the word dating, not necessarily dates. But I would probably say that I am pretty expressive.
Expressive?
Elaborate.
Does that mean you like tell them or what?
I
Like,
think I don't mean to, but my face.
you moan
does.
a lot?
Oh, okay.
I think my face does because,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mean to, but I get bored. Then I'm sorry.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I can't hide it. I just can't, which is why I don't do dinners. I don't do that kind of stuff. Let's go meet at a bar for one drink. That's maybe like what, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe, where you're sitting down at a dinner for hours. And then what are you going to come up with? Within the first couple minutes, you're going to know if you're going to be compatible. And then you got to sit there for how much longer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me. So I always go to the shorter option, meet for coffee, let's go for a walk. I don't know, mini golf. I don't know. Let's do something else other than commit to a very long date. Now, if we want to get together, have a coffee, and be interested and continue, that's something else because you can then add on to that, right? But I kind of have a rule. So I have a 24-hour rule. So we meet, doesn't matter the activity. We meet, we talk, we hang out. And I don't know if it's just because it makes me more comfortable, but they have 24 hours.
24 hours?
24 hours.
They better get it done.
Well, no, not quite like that. So my 24 hours means that we've decided to say goodbye for the day.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot contact me again for 24 hours.
Oh, so like a break period?
Kind of.
So I think that what they used to do was the 3-day rule.
3-day rule used to be a thing.
It used to be a thing, the 3-day rule. Like if you went out on a date someone, you waited 3 days.
Well, that's mostly men chose that. Yeah, in the past.
Yeah.
Women didn't really.
I would have been like, bitch,
that.
you ain't text me.
Right? It's a long time. So I do 24 hours because it takes the human a couple hours, and not even as much as 24, to decide whether what they did or what they're going to do is something they're going to regret.
Okay.
So after you get home, you're doing something else, you're analyzing everything you just thought about, everything you just did. In a couple hours, you're going to know, yeah, okay, I think I'd like to see that person again. Or yeah, no, that was a huge mistake, and I'm free and clear right now.
Okay.
So
if, let's say, for example, you go out to a bar, you have a drink with this guy, you somewhat feel like things are clicking, so you stick around, you have another drink or whatever, and you go home at the end of the night. You're saying that your 24-hour rule is in effect.
Yes.
Do they know this?
yes.
Okay. So if somebody was to just go home at the end of the night and just literally send you a line that says, I had a great time tonight, and leave it at that, you would be no.
It's not that I wouldn't be no, the timer would start over again. So because they're not giving themselves the proper amount of time to analyze what they did, mostly probably because they have alcohol in them and they're not listening in the first place, which is a little bit of a red flag. So at that point, I would just remember, hey, 24-hour rule, don't forget. 24 hours comes, and I usually sometimes, depending on the type of time of day, everybody works. Not everybody can access their phones or whatever it is. They have to wait a minimum of 24 hours. After six more hours, if I haven't heard from them, they're done. I do not contact them again.
So if they haven't contacted you, so when the 24 hours is up, if they haven't contacted you,
they always have to contact me. If I do not respond, they know that it's not my choice.
Do you prefer being chased than to...
I do love the chase.
Yes.
I am. I love the chase.
That makes sense.
I like it.
I do.
Come chase me. Come. I am the gazelle.
Well,
I'm frolicking. Come bite this booty.
Well, it's the type of man that I go for. It's also breaks the social norms, so it makes me feel more comfortable.
What kind of men are though?
So I like younger men.
Okay. I prefer older, but
Yeah,
go ahead
see?
with yourself.
That's okay. You could take them. I'll take the other half.
I mean, I
it works.
prefer younger men too.
Yeah.
I've actually only ever dated one guy that was older than me.
I don't know what a seasoned man can do.
Yeah. I only dated one guy that was actually older than me.
Yeah, no, I've never.
To be quite honest, like I could probably count on 2 hands how many guys I've hooked up with that were older than me.
Yeah.
Like I I don't know what it is. It's just I just don't find an attraction to an older guy.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I'm right there with you.
So
But that's another reason why I have the rule is because it's a social norm that not everybody, I mean, it's getting better. You see, you know, a younger man with an older woman or a very young woman with an older man. I mean, you see it all the time and it's getting there, but it's still not that widely accepted. So it's also my way of giving them an out. Like, is this something you're going to be okay with being seen with me, doing things with me? You know,
you're like, do you want people to know you've been at the zoo and took home a cougar?
oh, no, you did not. I'm not there yet. So close, not there yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, that's.
Well, what about you, Izzy? How do you feel that you are to date?
I'm a fucking god. It's like, no, I'm Jesus. For someone to date me, I feel like
Well,
you're either gonna
son of God. Jesus was the son of God,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
I am your god. Kiss my feet. I kind of like it. So, sorry. No, it's definitely you're either gonna love me or hate me. As I progress through the dating world, I'm like, I'm just gonna be myself. You know how there's always that awkward, like, you don't know how they may react to you if you give them your all kind of situation of who you are. That point is gone. So it's like, here I am. This is who I am. How do you feel? Kind of situation. So that helps kind of negate a lot of the, if you don't like me, you know, you move on, you go your own direction kind of thing, and we don't talk again. But then if they stick around, then it's like, oh, snap. This guy, he withstood the onslaught of my jokiness or goofiness or awkwardness. And I'm like, okay, this is worth pursuing. But for them, I'm like, it's either a treat, you're going to have fun, or it's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, I don't know. Like, what is up with this guy? But overall, I think I'm okay. I'm all right.
Well, let me ask you this. So, have you guys heard the term yet? Dicktavism or a dicktivist?
No.
No.
So
Does it
basically,
involve dicks?
huh?
Is it
Kind of involves.
Let me take
guys.
a guess. It's a what is it? Say the word again.
Dicktavism.
Use it in a sentence. It's about I'm gonna say guys sorting, like they're playing with their dicks.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Not even close. So basically, dicktavism is when you have dated somebody, all right? And I'm talking dated, exclusive dating.
See.
And they've gone on to now be dating somebody else, but they're a better person because of you having dated them.
So wait, they got better off of me?
Exactly. So you know how like an activist is. So now instead you're a dicktivist because you're making somebody else better for
Fuck
the
that
next
noise.
person.
No.
But are they dating on purpose for that specific reason and only that reason to become better, or is this just a random act that happens?
He's got my playlist.
I don't think it really matters. I think I would be pissed off if I can tell you that I've been pissed off where somebody who's been exclusive to me goes on and starts dating somebody else. And you're like, why the fuck are you acting like that? You never acted like that when I was dating you.
Okay.
You know,
I see. Yep.
you know, you see these things. It's like they learned their mistakes through you, and now they're
Doing it
doing
with somebody
better
else
with
instead of
somebody
you.
else
Yeah.
Ooh,
when
damn.
you tried to get them to do that with you.
I see.
That's a sting.
That is.
Whew. Well,
Do you feel like? Have you ever felt like a dicktivist?
shoot.
Have you ever been down that
but I
road?
have this mantra too, where like if I had like let's say a breakup, I always have this mentality where I'm like I'm gonna do better. Like I can find better. than you and move on. And I do find better. And then if that doesn't work out, then I'm like, you know what? There's better out there for me. And you move on and you find someone better and you feel better about yourself. You grow as a person.
I don't, that is not what.
I think that's just self.
That's just self. That's just you looking for a better person.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is that
another person,
like you are yourself are being a better person with that next person.
So wait, or we're talking about the view of like the ex, they become a better person, and you witness that, you see
exactly.
that.
Like say,
and you're like, I'm the what's the word?
Dicktivist.
Dick. So,
but so like say for example, like I'm dating somebody, right?
Okay.
And that person, like, I'm constantly like, hey, let's go to dinner. Let's, I want to cuddle.
Yeah, they become a better person for that.
I want us to be more affectionate in public, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't want that. I'm not that kind of person. And then you guys end up breaking up, or I end up breaking up with him. And now, shortly after, he starts dating another guy that you see in public all the time. And they're together, and they're all lovey-dovey.
They're doing the things you wanted
they're
him to
doing the
do.
things you wanted him to do.
Ooh, that's a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even with him, and I'm like, why couldn't you do that with me?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that situation, now you or I in this, in that story would be a dicktivist because I made that person a better person for the next person.
Well, I don't look at them like that though. Like my exes, where like if they have a relationship, I don't look at like how I made them better. I'm like, oh, they got their own little relationship. Kudos. Look at me though. I'm getting dicked down by like I don't care what's going on in their lives. I'm more concerned about what's
you don't really care about it, but you do see it.
Yeah, but
especially if you're in
a
small town. And some of these, and I was in the military, and a lot of your bases, the gay community is kind of close knit, because even though Don't Ask, Don't Tell and stuff has gone away, it's still a very big stigma in the military. So they tend to hang out together. So if I'm dating John and we break up, now John's probably could be dating, Bill that's in the same group.
Yeah, but like I've also, I'm just not concerned about them. That's what it is. It's like I immediately like shut them out, like in that respect, where especially if I'm in another relationship too, like even if things are going good with them, I'm not thinking of how like I made them better as a person, even if they're.
Well, I don't think it's that you're necessarily like you're not actively
in a relationship or something, whatever.
Well, I don't think you're actively thinking about how you made them better, but like,
did it make them better?
What I'm saying is like you happen to see them in a gathering, social gathering or something like that, and now they're being more open about their, and romantic together. Like they're sitting in the restaurant. You go in a restaurant for dinner, and they're sitting there holding hands, which is something you wanted to do with him, but he refused.
Okay.
Okay. Like just that happenstance that you see them out in public somewhere, or, this or that, or, the big one, like you wanted to get married to this guy and he's like, no, I don't ever want to get married. And next thing you know, you hear
he's engaged. Yep.
He's engaged to get married.
Yep.
I hope I'm invited.
No.
Izzy be the one in the back drinking out of the flask.
Like,
yeah.
So we meet again.
So
with my raven. Where's the baby?
So with that, and moving forward, like, do you think that dating is easy or hard?
It's freaking hard.
We're talking about dating. We're not talking about any phallic object.
Then it would be easy. But it's
easy, Izzy.
Wow. I'm gonna ignore that and continue. So it is hard. And I think social media definitely makes it harder. It's so much easier to skip people, not even give them a chance, an opportunity for that person to really like show you who they are, because they're already talking to someone else like immediately after. So it's more difficult out there.
I kind of agree with that. I think it's as easy or as hard as you make it. But I mean, I agree with the whole dating app thing. With the dating apps and the abundance of them, it has progressively gotten worse because it's so quick to just swipe on. Like you literally see a picture, sometimes their age, their sexual position, and that's about it. You get like half of a sentence on their profile, and unless you click on it, you don't really read anything else. So you're basing everything off of really the picture, and it's like, how do you even know if this person is compatible, and you're just writing them off. So
yeah, I'm kind of torn because dating is the act of dating. I think going into finding people to potentially date for me is easy because I'm not one of those people who just swipes. But I think moving past the first initial want to be exclusive part gets hard. So I think it's kind of both.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we actually get into our bad date stories, we're going to take a pause for our listeners here so that way they can think about themselves and think about their bad dates and where they fall in the dating realm. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, my fellow deviants. I'm sure you're ready to hear some of our bad date stories, some of our truly epic and nightmarish dating stories.
Cringy.
Yes, the cringe of the cringiest.
Run away.
We were sharing some notes prior to coming back on the air, and it's some good stories coming up. So, we'll get started. So who wants to go first? Dizzy, you want to go first?
I mean, I'll go first. It's fine with me. So I think I should start by letting the crowd know, my fellow deviants, that there's been several dates with the same person. So starting off, it was amazing. It was beautiful. It took place in New York. And
in New York.
Yes, yes. And this man, he made me experience New York like never before. Like he took me to all the restaurants, the hidden stuff. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And just running around in that city with him was spectacular. So I was enthralled. I'm like, this is gonna be it. Like, I can see myself, just exclusive essentially, because I slowly started to stop talking. You lose your attention to other guys and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is great. He is awesome. And I live like 2 hours away from New York, and I was a busy guy too. So getting to him was kind of a hassle at times, but I still made it work. I did the whole like, let a friend know you're going on a date, you're going to this city kind of deal. But this particular date where, things went south, my friend was doing something, he was out, and the person I relied on, and I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable with this guy. Like I've been on several dates with him. You're relaxed. You're like, I'm just gonna go and do this. Like it's gonna be me and him. I don't need to tell everyone every time I'm going on, the date with the same person. So this idea comes from him. He's like, why don't you come back to my place? All we done was kissing, by the way. We haven't done the whole like get in your, bed and do the naughty. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm either going to fuck him or he gonna fuck me. But he's like inviting me to his house. He's gonna cook. It's gonna be amazing. And I'm like, yes, let's do this. So the day is spent running around the city, of course. And then we go back to his place. And I'm like, I'm so ready for this. I'm like, already enthralled with him. He's cooking in the kitchen. That was the day plan, him cooking for me. And I'm like, this is awesome. He cooks too. Like, yes, this is the way to my heart. And everything's perfect. Like the food looks amazing. I'm happy. I'm like, this smells wonderful. It looks wonderful. I am so ready for it. And he's like all smiles and giggles and all of that. And I'm like, this is too cute. And we're sitting down, eating. I'm enjoying it. He's in his like kind of quiet. Of course, we're chewing, we're eating. I have my mouth full. And out of nowhere, guys, out of the blue, this guy just, I don't know what happens. He just snaps. Like he immediately is like, why didn't you say anything about the food? Like, what is wrong with my food? What is going, like, just starts snapping out of nowhere. And I'm like, with my mouth full, just looking at him like, is he getting mad? Why is he getting mad? Like, I don't understand what's going on right now. And all I can remember in that moment is just him slowly, like, just escalating. And this is an Irish white man that I was dating at the time. You can see his face change colors. So you're like,
not all of us Irish are bad
well,
or crazy.
Well, this man in particular.
Most of us are drunks, but not crazy.
He was no alcohol involved in this story as well. Like we were having dinner, maybe a cup of wine. I mean, that's about it. But not enough to be like, go crazy about. And he's just escalating in anger. And I'm just like, this is so out of the norm, like out of nowhere. Like I just started reflecting back on like our dates. Like, how did this happen? And then like a little piece of me got, that fear of like, where is this coming from? Where is this? Like you start trying to figure out, why is this happening? What did I do? And he just starts yelling, like just yelling at me. And I'm just like, okay, where's the door? Like, how do I get out of this situation? You're internally panicking and screaming like, I'm scared. What's going on? How is this going to end? Am I going to die? Like, am I going to have to fight this guy?
So how did you get out of it?
Oh my God. What music was that? So,
wait. No, we don't go. How did you get out of it?
Oh, so, well, red. Red.
He's going to leave the listeners hanging.
Yeah, I mean, we might get back to it, but is it right now? That part is just for the listeners. I mean, I know this is gonna separate the group. Like, wow, that was fucking stupid. And then there's gonna be other people like, oh, we understand. And right now, we're not in that point where I want to talk about it. But right now, what I do, I'll share with you guys is that like he went into the kitchen. And when he came back, it was, different. It was a little bit more calmed down. But it was a scary moment for me. Like, I reflect back on that day and I think about, like, how I never want to have that dinner day kind of situation at their house. Because it kind of, like, traumatized me a little bit. I was like, oh, no. And I usually date bigger guys. I like them big. I like them thick, hold me down. But on the counter of that, you can fucking hold me down. I'm like, oh, fuck. This is a double-edged blade.
Right?
What am I doing?
Like they could actually murder me.
Yeah, I'm like, murder this Boosie, but don't murder me. So it was very, oh my God.
It's kind of ironic that you tell this story because we have a friend actually, and I don't know if you guys, the listeners, know or if you subscribe to HBO Max, but there's actually a television or a series that just came out called The Last Call Killer, which takes place in New York back in the 90s, where this guy would go to gay bars and essentially pick up guys and then kill them after having sex with them. And so we actually have a friend that went out with this guy several times, and this guy tried to get him to go back to his apartment in Staten Island. Yeah. So I'm trying to get him to come on the pod, but he's got to travel to get here. Okay. But hopefully in the future,
pay for his tickets. Damn it.
Yeah. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to get him to come on and tell his story.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is actually one of the few people that literally danced with the devil and has lived to tell the story. So
That is scary. That is really scary.
yeah. And so for our listeners out there, if you do have the ability to go to HBO Max or whatever, check out that series called The Last Call Killer.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
actually
intense.
pretty intense. And what he did and with the bodies and stuff like that. So
And they focused on the victims too, which I appreciated.
they really did focus on the victims and the victims' families and stuff like that. And they didn't give this guy his 15 seconds of fame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's worth a watch.
But there is, you got to be careful out there. You go out on these dates, sometimes they legit could murder you. So, but I'm interested to hear the rest of this story that we,
Rojo.
got the safe word on.
Red.
So, but yeah, we might have to revisit this story down the road and see if we can get the rest of the story for our listeners.
Y'all better stand by me, people. Y'all better stand by me.
So, well, Megan, what about you? What is your most cringeworthy date?
Okay, so this date, singular. Let's start out with I met this guy on Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish had just came out, like it was brand new, where everything was free.
Okay, we're starting to
Yes.
tell our age here.
Look, but so everything was free, everything was open, so everybody used it like a text messaging. This is what it was. You sent messages, so we talked for longest time, and then we decided he actually asked me out on a date. Wanted to do the traditional dinner, not movie, but go to dinner, hang out, and I'm like, okay. Well, we talked for a while, so I was like, all right, we'll do that. So at this time, I was in the military, and he was also a sailor. So he was to come and pick me up at my barracks. He was going to drive, do the whole chivalrous thing. And so I'm out on this at this time of my life. I also smoked. I'm sorry. But I was on the smoke deck, waiting for him to come. There was a bunch
you were a smoker?
I was a smoker.
Something new.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
She has an oral fixation.
I do a little bit.
Okay. Oh,
So we're out
explains
there.
the piercing.
Uh-huh. We a bunch of guys. It was a barracks that half and half, so women on one side, men on the other. So the smoke deck, there was a bunch of guys out there, and we chat all the time because there's not that many smokers at that time. So they're like, "What are you doing? You look all dolled up and everything." And
Damn right, bitches.
as I know, right? I had to do it, right? And I'm like, I'm waiting on a date, and he's like, "Well, when they was supposed to be here?" And I said, "Well, technically 30 minutes ago." So this guy was already late.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So they're giving him
late
shit.
to the date.
And we're all, and next thing I know is this brand new guy that I knew was not a part of the group that usually comes out to smoke is standing like, the smoke deck was this big gazebo, big wooden gazebo. It was standing at the doorway of the gazebo, and he pipes up and says, well, maybe he just was late from getting off work. So that's why he's late to pick her up. And they all shut up and they look, and it was him. Because I didn't recognize him at first because,
Hey, daddy.
pictures in real life, sometimes especially back then when cameras weren't the quality that they are today, and there's no such thing as filters back then.
Here we go with dating us again.
Yeah, hey, stop.
Telling our ages. The old grainy photos.
Yeah,
My iPhone is on point.
Yeah,
I don't know what y'all talking about.
now
Yeah, well, back then they didn't even have iPhones. You took a picture with your webcam on your computer.
No. Well, and we only get chest shots. So.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's true. So I'm like, okay, this must be him. And I'm like, they all laughed, and I turned a little bit red because I was embarrassed. We were all talking about it.
Wait a minute. Is that red as in the safe word red?
No,
or
I turned physically red.
Are you Irish?
No.
I bet she's had Irish in her, though. I mean,
So we go on this date, and he had plans. He didn't tell me the restaurant name. He just told me it was an Italian restaurant, and it was not far from the base, so it was not a big deal. So we get there, and it's actually closed on this day. So I'm like, okay. what am I going to do now? So in the same plaza, like it was one of those kind of like strip mall plazas that has a restaurant in the middle somewhere. So right in the same plaza was a bar.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, why don't we go over there and get appetizers and have a drink or something? I'm just like, okay, it's fine with me. And
Yeah.
we sit there and we're talking and I order, a glass of wine and he orders a Jack and Coke. And we're sitting there, we're talking. And next thing I knew, he was kind of wobbling around a little bit. Of course, I don't know him that well. This is our first time face to face, so we never really talked about this stuff anymore. So I'm like, okay, well, it's getting kind of late. I'm ready to go home. So we get in the car, we go back, get to the gate, and next thing I know, the guard opens up like the passenger side door because every military base there's guards who have to get through, and he pops his head down and he says, "Can you please exit the car?"
Fuck no.
I'm like, oh my God, what did I do?
Exactly.
So I exited the car and he walked me. He walked me far away from the car.
Oh no.
And I'm like, is this guy like flagged for some reason?
Yeah.
What's going on? So he's like, do you know that your boyfriend is drunk? I said, well, number one, not my boyfriend. Number two, this is a blind date.
Where did that assumption come from? He just was like flat out like, it's okay.
I'm like, nope, this is the first time I've ever met him. Yes, he had a drink, but I don't know what his limit is. How am I supposed to know this?
Right.
Well, mine's is apparently 3 smashes, but
So
these bitches.
So I'm like, he's completely drunk. I said, what do you want? My barracks is not far from here. I can walk. And he's like, no, you're going to drive his car to your barracks. You're going to get out and you're going to leave him there. I said, okay.
Oh,
So that's exactly what it did.
okay, daddy.
I drove his car to my barracks, parked it. I got out and left. I didn't even say goodbye. I just got out. It was like, this is so embarrassing. And I went upstairs and I have no idea. He wasn't there the next morning. So at some point he drove himself away, but.
So he probably just slept it off a little bit and drove
Danny
home.
Phantom.
Yeah, so that was probably the worst one I've ever had.
Oh.
That's not too bad.
Well, thankfully I have not been on that many like that. Or like in general, so I don't have a whole lot.
I would have been sweating.
Well, you've said before that you don't
I don't really
date too much.
Yeah.
Your hookup stories must be
Yeah, her hookup stories are
tantalizing.
Oh yeah.
when you guys hear hookup stories from her, I guarantee you're going to hear stories.
Oh, yes.
It's like, get your paper towels because there is not going to be any tea left in the pot.
Nope.
Yeah, let's hear about freaking the country boy and the
So
city.
I've had quite a few bad dates.
Ooh.
Like quite a few bad dates. And the one that I had queued up was actually about alcohol too. But I'll save that one for a future episode so we're not talking about alcohol repetitively.
Okay.
So this one probably takes the cake though as the worst date I'd ever been on. We're talking like next level cringe.
Okay.
So a little backstory. A lot of people know that I was in the military. I was in the Navy. I was a corpsman. I worked as a medic. I had actually met this guy through the clinic that I was working in. He was a Marine. So devil dogs out there that are listening, this is like the bar to pass. But if you pass this, just know that there will be no further dates.
Damn.
So
Y'all been exit.
right. So this guy, he would come into the clinic and when somebody's interested in you, like you get that long glance. It's like they maintain eye contact for a long period of time. And it's like, okay, I got you.
It's like they're hoping to catch your eyes.
Right. It's like they're hoping that you see them looking at you.
Exactly.
And that's what kind of started this, it was innocent eye contact. And then we, started chatting and stuff like that. And mind you, this was during the time period of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which again was a whole nother beast in itself for those in the military that were, gay and lesbian and bisexual and stuff. And so it's one of those, like, I see you looking at me.
Mm-hmm. I know you want this. I know
But-
you fucking want this, but I'm going to just stare into your eyes.
Right. But you didn't really say anything because you didn't want to out yourself. And then next thing you know, you're in trouble. So anyway, so after several weeks of this, glances and smiles, I went to the bar on base. All the bases had their enlisted clubs, and he happened to be there with his buddies, and some of his buddies were friends of mine. So we were all just kind of hanging out, and getting drunk and everything like that. And we got pretty drunk. Pretty drunk. Like, I don't remember how we got back to his barracks room.
Damn.
But
okay.
We somehow got back to his barracks room.
Plenty of drinks.
Plenty of drinks. And things happen. You know what happens. So,
I don't. Describe. Details. It happens.
It's what happens when them booty cheeks start slapping.
Okay. Were you the top or were you the bottom? I'm here for the people.
So, we're shit-faced drunk, I'm like, I'm talking blackout drunk. And this was early in life. So, my body could handle a lot more. So we go to sleep. We're in his bed. And, again, shit-faced drunk. And in the middle of the night, I hear the loudest fart.
I'm sorry. A good fart makes me laugh.
I hear the loudest fart that I have ever heard. Now, mind you, we're naked, of course, so that there was nothing like muffling it.
Did you feel it? Did you feel the wind?
Well, just wait. You'll see what happens.
Did you Pocahontas it?
So, of course, it woke me up, and it was not just one of those like farts. Like, you could tell it was wet. So now it's like,
give me a sound effect. What was that?
So, it woke me up, and at this point, like, I'm like, all right, now I'm up. I got to pee because, of course, you've been drinking all night, so you got to always pee.
Did you feel the vibration?
So, y'all remember it takes Izzy 3 smashes to get drunk?
Stop.
He's 30. He's
They
past
didn't
his
need to
third
know
one.
that. They did not need to know that.
So anyway, this dude had actually shit the bed.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm not talking like a turd shit the bed. Like, I'm talking like cow patty splatter.
Oh my
Like
God.
liquid or
Like liquid shit the
or
bed.
was there a consistency to it?
Oh my God.
Like a thick
like liquid shit the bed.
Jesus.
And now I'm in his barracks room.
Mhm.
Of
Was that
course.
your bed or his bed?
No, we were in his barracks room. His bed.
Yeah, fuck you.
Mhm.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Walk away.
What do you do? Like,
Oh my God.
like, luckily it didn't get on me.
Yeah.
Did you wake him up?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was nice.
Okay.
I actually got him up and got him in the shower.
Wait, so you just wake him up and be like, hey, remember that fart? Yeah. You shit it.
But I mean, it goes through your mind like, I didn't want him to think I did it.
Yeah.
See, that's where you go back to like touch
Like-
your ass.
Like, if I would have just like got up and bounced, like,
You
I
would
mean,
have thought
could
you did it.
he could have
Yeah.
thought I did it and then just left him laying in it.
Yeah.
I need a camera on this. I need to see his reaction.
Like, so,
Oh my God.
I was nice about it, and of course we're all young, and it's always one of those. And to answer your
Oh, yeah,
question,
how old were you guys?
to answer your question from earlier, it's one of those things that, some people expect when they, bottom or top,
You really popped that plug.
Oh Lord.
What was that? I'm
So,
sorry.
so I got him in the shower, he got cleaned up and everything like that.
That was
but,
nice of you.
Yeah. But I did get a blowjob on the way out too.
After the shit mess? Like,
Yeah, why not? He didn't shit out his
well,
mouth.
damn. That's talking about dick first, and I don't know. But wow.
Yeah.
I commend you for actually sticking by and being like, you know what, let's take a shower. And like, you were very reasonable in that situation, even though it was like,
I was very rational.
yeah, like it's,
I mean, the biggest thing is I didn't want him to think I shit his bed.
because normally I would imagine a person to be like, oh, hell no. Like,
Well,
This-
that went through my mind. Like
Yeah.
that literally, like that, yeah. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I still look back on it and I think to myself, if he would have got that shit on me,
I was
like,
up in
literally
them
got that
guts.
shit on me, like
Mhm.
I probably
Oh
would have
my
been
God.
screaming.
What if you pulled out and just get bored?
Well, we weren't having sex. Like we were literally
This was
asleep.
after sex.
We'd already had sex.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like we had already been done with sex, and we were literally asleep in the bed. And
yeah,
then he
you did
farts.
something to him.
Mhm.
You
I wreck that booty hole.
You gave him the plunger. God
So-
damn.
Mm.
It came in like a wrecking
See,
ball.
Mm.
That's why I recommend you the bottom diet. It consists of salad and plenty of fiber.
So yeah, that was probably the most cringeworthy bad date that I've had. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you handled it well,
I still got a blowjob, so
There you
and
go.
you got your dick sucked. So
Exactly.
that's nice.
I got off twice that night.
In one night? Oh, I'm impressed. I'm sorry. The 3 smashes are messing with me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We can tell.
Uh-huh.
Hi, everybody.
So anyway, so yeah. So did you guys have any, final thoughts for our listeners out there on bad dates?
Man, that was a catastrophe.
It was a shit-tastic.
Yeah, that was a shit-tastic.
No, it was not shit-tastic.
No, I think my biggest thing is, the bad dates are going to happen. Good dates are going to happen.
Yeah.
Good dates are going to turn into bad dates.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. That's what this one kind of was,
Yeah.
Like, well, finally we're starting to get somewhere instead of just exchanging glances. But
Yeah, you guys had an interaction. You guys,
well, we had an interaction.
All right.
oh my God, you got to smell him in all different ways.
Oh, man.
Did you go down on him?
No.
Oh. Well, okay. That, man. I
So
don't-
yeah. So any final thoughts?
Damn.
It might be hard.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah. I mean, we're all going to be experiencing bad dates. It's unavoidable. It's going to happen, but it helps us grow as people as well.
I think
Like, you
the
learn things about yourself.
The other side of that too, if you're listening to this and you can say that you've never had a bad date, you might want to look in the mirror. You might actually be the bad date.
Yeah.
know.
I think I
You
can
look
recall some.
back at some of what you've done, and maybe you were somebody else's bad date.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
well, my fellow deviants, that about wraps up this episode of Raw and Uncut. If you want to know more about our show,
Schmore.
if you want to know more about our show, you can reach out to our host through our website, which is attached in our show notes for you. Be sure to like and share us on your favorite platforms. But before we go, don't get discouraged if you've had a bad date or a string of bad dates. Remember to always do what makes you happy. And if someone is your bad date, don't be afraid to fix the issue, even if it's in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And as always,
Tell it like it is.
choose your safe word wisely.
Yeah, I'm a smash.